The 10 most feared criminal empires on Earth. Number 10, the Bamboo Union. Number 3, the Mexican Mafia. And at number 1, they call themselves gods of hell. Their annual revenue, over $230 billion. The Unoffice on Drugs and Crime released a damning 2023 report. Between 2015 and 2021, nearly 40% of all global homicides were directly linked to organized crime. Over 700,000 lives lost, swallowed by the violence these organizations unleashed. From street warfare to transnational crime networks, these organizations operate beyond the law. They do not just control the underworld. They have burrowed deep into the highest levels of government itself. So, which one truly stands above them all as the most terrifying? Today, join Journey Journals as we count down the 10 most dangerous criminal organizations on the planet. The name Bamboo Union is etched into Taiwan's criminal history as a name everyone knows and fears. Born from a campus clique, it grew into what United States Foreign Policy magazine named the 4th most dangerous criminal organization in the world, a title that sends chills down your spine. It all began with students from Lun High School in Taipei, who formed a group called Bamboo Forest Alliance. The bamboo came from a bamboo grove alley near their school. It eventually became the Bamboo Union. Early members were mostly struggling students with a rebellious streak. They banded together to fight off rival gangs, a classic street code brotherhood of troubled youth. But that campus loyalty did not stay innocent for long. It quickly darkened into something far more sinister. What emerged would become one of Taiwan's most iconic criminal juggernauts. Early tensions between the Bamboo Union and the Four Seas Gang erupted into brutal confrontations. Bloodshed became routine. Between 1976 and 1981, both groups were implicated in a string of shocking attacks: the Shanghua Pavilion Massacre, the Tianchu Restaurant bloodbath, and the horrific court building attack. Year after year of carnage made the Bamboo Union infamous overnight and plunged Taiwanese society into fear. Meanwhile, the gang was tearing itself apart from within. Old and new factions clashed beneath the surface. Chen Qili was rising fast inside the ranks. Locked in a brutal power struggle with the old boss Zhou Bazi, the internal war grew more vicious by the day. During Chen Qili's reign over the Bamboo Union, the 1984 Jiangnan case shocked the world. In California, Chinese-American author Henry Liu was killed at his own doorstep. Investigators traced the hit back to Taiwan's Defense Intelligence Bureau, carried out by the Bamboo Union itself. This politically motivated assassination shattered United States-Taiwan relations and forced Taiwan's government to launch a nationwide crackdown operation Clean Sweep. Thousands of gang members were arrested and thrown into labor camps. The underworld was forced to restructure completely. The Bamboo Union took a hit, but they did not break. Battered but not beaten, their tight organizational structure held firm. They used the chaos to expand, rising to the top of Taiwan's criminal hierarchy. They mastered the art of going legit. By the 1990s, through shell companies like Quan & Construction and Taolue Group, they secured 8 trillion NT dollars in public contracts, rigging bids and bleeding the system dry. As the world evolved, the Bamboo Union transformed into an international crime syndicate. Estimated core membership, 20,000 strong. Factor in overseas partners and peripheral members, and that number swells to 100,000. To expand beyond Taiwan's borders, they forged alliances with Japan's Sumiyoshi Kai, Inagawa Kai, and the American Huaqing Gang. Their reach now spans Southeast Asia, the Philippines, Europe, and the Americas. In 2008, United States Foreign Policy magazine ranked the Bamboo Union among the world's 4 most dangerous criminal organizations. No longer just a Taiwanese street gang, this was a fully fledged international crime empire. Then in 2017, Philippine President Duterte called them out twice by name, accusing them of joining forces with Hong Kong's 14K to flood the Philippines with narcotics on a massive scale. What started in the back alleys of Taipei had already become a transnational titan. It had long since become a transnational criminal giant. Hung Han-yi is the most iconic face of Hong Kong's 14K triad. In his time, he was the most feared underworld kingpin alive. in the 70s and 80s through entertainment venues, gambling dens, and drug trafficking. He amassed 50 billion Hong Kong dollars in just over a decade. Hong Kong had a saying that spread through the streets. Du Yusheng came before Hung Han Yi came after. Even football clubs in Europe and underground networks across the globe bowed to him. He once boasted that he had everything a man could want: women, power, and status. But in his final years, this once unstoppable boss was consumed by regret. He pleaded with young men, "Do not join the triads. It is a road that only leads to death." What changed his mind? He said, witnessing years inside the drug trade showed him firsthand just how many families he had destroyed. The violence, the brutality. He had stopped being human. In 2008, he was baptized as a Christian. He founded a church dedicated to helping families destroyed by addiction. He also established a rehabilitation center for ex-convicts serving sentences of 5 years or more. What kind of organization is so terrifying that even a man who spent decades inside it ends up in tears of remorse? The connection between hung men, the triads, and 14K confuses most people. Hung men and the triads are not gang names. Hung men is the spiritual origin of Chinese criminal brotherhoods. Triads is the collective term for all Chinese gang systems, and 14K, one of the largest triad organizations in the world. 14K traces its roots back to 1945, when Kuomintang General Zhao Wang established a base in Guangzhou. He founded the Hongfa Shanzhongyi Tang, originally an anti-communist intelligence unit. When the Civil War ended, they fled to Hong Kong. What followed was a global shadow network that spread across continents. By the 1980s, membership had swelled to 2 million. One of the largest underground organizations on the planet at the time. After China's economic reforms opened its doors, 14K extended its reach rapidly into Guangdong, Sichuan, Xinjiang, Tibet, Heilongjiang, leaving their mark everywhere they went. They were also deeply active in Southeast Asia, Japan, Europe, the Americas, and South Africa, operating through linked units in every corner of the globe. From drug trafficking to underground gambling, illegal trading, identity theft, and human trafficking, 14K had a hand in all of it. Especially in the Golden Triangle, 14K became the prime partner for narcotics production. They funneled product through Hong Kong and Taiwan to the rest of the world. From 1970 onward, 14K moved into Amsterdam, Netherlands, using Chinese restaurants as cover to push soft drugs into Belgium, France, and beyond. In Amsterdam itself, they built tight cell-based structures. By the late 90s, they had infiltrated Hong Kong's entertainment world. The Chen Huimin case and the kidnapping of Karina Lau were both suspected to be their work. The truth remains murky, but the cases alone revealed the terrifying reach of 14K. Even by 2023, 14K shows no sign of fading. Reports have even emerged suggesting that the notorious KK Park operation in northern Myanmar may be orchestrated by 14K's own Wan Kwok Koi. Their roots run deeper than ever. In Mexico's northeastern state of Tamaulipas, corruption has long been carved into the bones of power. For years, this land, once meant for prosperity, became a breeding ground for black market deals and brutal violence. From those shadows rose the Gulf Cartel. The Gulf Cartel's story stretches back to the 1930s, founded by Juan Nepomuceno Guerra. They started by smuggling alcohol and contraband into the United States. After Prohibition ended, they pivoted to gambling, prostitution, car theft, and underground transportation networks. It was not until the 1980s that everything changed. Under Juan Garcia Abrego's leadership, they transformed into something far more dangerous, a force that shook the entire border region. Garcia Abrego displayed ambition and cunning that dwarfed his predecessors. He built a deep partnership with Colombia's Cali cartel and secured 50% of every shipment as his cut. He cut deals for 50% of every shipment, a massive upgrade from the old flat rate per kilo, far beyond the previous $1,500 per kilo arrangement. To protect the flow, he built warehouses across northern Mexico to stockpile hundreds of tons of product and assembled a ruthlessly efficient distribution network. Mexico's Attorney General's office estimated in the 1990s that the cartel's annual income hit $1 billion, total assets at peak $10 billion, They controlled 1/3 of all cross-border drug traffic. To sustain an operation that size, violence alone was not enough. They needed political power. Multiple governors of Tamaulipas, including Manuel Cavazos Lerma and Eugenio Hernandez, were widely accused of ties to the cartel. One was even barred from leaving Mexico by the Attorney General. Local officials forged documents and abused power, openly clearing the path for the cartel. In 2010, the sitting governor, Eugenio Hernandez, actually claimed there was no armed conflict in the state, dismissing reports of bloodshed as pure rumors. But those rumors were lurking in the shadow of every single street. He was attacked and killed that same year in the city of San Fernando. A monstrous crime unfolded. 72 foreign migrants were executed in cold blood. Soon after, multiple mass graves were discovered. Over 250 bodies in total. Over 250 victims recovered from the earth. People lived in constant terror. They would not even dare say the killers' names out loud. When Ocil Cardenas took command, he not only deepened the militarization, he fueled a brutal internal war. Despite being arrested in 2003 and serving 25 years in a United States prison, his forces still terrorized communities at home. His brother Ezequiel Cardenas was killed in 2010 when federal troops moved in. After that, the Gulf Cartel fractured beyond repair. Their internal clashes spilled onto civilians. Entire cities were paralyzed, thrown into chaos and fear. Local governments were powerless to stop it, and some were suspected of quietly maintaining the balance from behind the scenes. Peace, justice, and freedom. Behind this idealistic slogan lies Latin America's most terrifying and most complex criminal organization, the Primero Comando de Capital, or PCC. The PC uses the yin-yang symbol as its emblem. It first emerged in 1993. Born from the ashes of the Carandiru prison massacre in São Paulo, 111 inmates were killed when military police violently suppressed a riot, slaughtered where they stood. That bloodbath ignited a resistance movement. They vowed to defend prisoners' rights and punish the injustice of the prison system. That resistance eventually became the PCC. Within just a few years, this organization rapidly evolved into a vast secret empire, using prison infrastructure to build an internal bureaucracy, recruiting and training from inside the cells, coordinating nationwide operations from behind bars. By 2023 figures, the PCC's global full members numbered 40,000. Associate members pushed that total to 60,000. They turned prisons into logistics hubs and command centers, steadily infiltrating South American nations, taking control of narcotics routes, and forging alliances with Italy's Ndrangheta. The two organizations collaborated to control over 50% of Brazil's drug exports to Europe. They also expanded into West Africa, seizing control of parts of Lagos and Abuja. In Lisbon, Portugal, over 1,000 affiliated operatives were active. The PCC does not expand through bloodshed. It operates like a corporation. Compared to other Brazilian criminal groups, the PCC prizes efficiency and market control. They prefer cooperation over conflict, negotiating to absorb existing logistics and personnel networks, cutting operating costs, minimizing exposure. In some regions, they even stepped in to provide basic order and dispute resolution, filling the void left by a failing state. This left entire marginalized communities dependent on them, but threatened their interests. And they respond without mercy. Large-scale retaliation, swift and devastating. Take the 2006 São Paulo uprising. Within days, hundreds of armed attacks swept the city. Police officers and bus drivers were executed on the spot. The city looked like a war zone. Most of it was ordered by prison leaders over the phone. A chilling display of the PCC's reach and control. Since 2020, the PCC has generated over $1 billion annually. Our revenue streams include narcotics trafficking, extortion, money laundering, human trafficking, and fraudulent loan operations. They are deeply embedded in Argentina, Bolivia, Chile, Paraguay, and Uruguay. Most of these countries lack the experience to fight a syndicate this sophisticated, and rarely realize the threat until it is far too late. Today, the PCC is no longer just a prison gang, no longer just a force behind bars. Their word is no longer scrawled on prison walls. It can sway mayoral elections and dictate the rules of entire border corridors. Their original ideals have been abandoned entirely. Now, just a mask hiding greed and raw power. In the Kyoyu series Arrow, a mysterious organization called the Solntsevskaya Brotherhood looms throughout the storyline, but this is no fictional creation. It is one of the most feared underground powers in the real world. The Solntsevskaya Brotherhood emerged in the 1980s, as the Soviet system began to crack. In that power vacuum, an ordinary restaurant worker in Moscow, Sergei Mikhailov, would become the legendary Mikas. Solntsevo was a working-class neighborhood crawling with street gangs. Every alley was claimed by some underground faction. But Sergei's Brotherhood operated with far superior organization, stricter discipline, and colder calculation. They consumed territory piece by piece, forcing rival groups to submit or disappear. By the 90s, they were running legitimate businesses as cover for gray market deals from Moscow to Crimea. To Samara, they took root. Then they went international. A 2008 investigation found the Brotherhood's operations had no boundaries. From high-end art deals to oil contract brokerage, international human trafficking, to special substance distribution, they were involved in all of it. Yahoo Finance reported in 2014 that the Brotherhood's annual revenue may have reached $8.5 billion, a labyrinthine money flow. So tangled through money laundering it is nearly impossible to trace, the Brotherhood refused to stay regional. They expanded into the Caribbean, Latin America, Mexico, Japan, Malaysia, China, Indonesia, and beyond. In some regions, they built supply chain partnerships with narcotics producers. Rumors of their infiltration into politics and the military never stopped circulating. Back in 2010, WikiLeaks published a document suggesting Russia's intelligence services had been protecting them. Leaks went further, claiming Russia itself functions as a state built on a protection racket, the entire system operating as one massive umbrella organization. Its leader, Sergei, once publicly declared he preferred to be called a businessman, not a criminal, not a gangster. And behind this suffocating web of power stands another name that demands attention, one that demands even closer attention: Semyon Yudkovich Mogilevich, a Ukrainian-born businessman, and one of the BI's 10 most wanted, designated by Western law enforcement agencies as the true godfather of organized crime, the hidden hand behind most Russian criminal networks, said to control numerous companies, spanning international finance and resource trading, with documented ties to high-ranking officials in both Ukraine and Russia. Even a former FBI director, William Sessions, was one of his defense attorneys in the United States. Inside this empire, loyalty and profit walk side by side, cold intelligence and ruthlessness reign, and those who dare to oppose them tend to meet only one fate. He is often compared to Mexico's most notorious drug lord, Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. Multiple media outlets gave him a nickname, the Asian El Chapo. His name, Tse-Chi Lop. On January 22, 2021, at the request of Australian authorities, Tse-Chi Lop was arrested at Amsterdam's Schiphol Airport by Dutch police. Dutch police moved in. This transnational arrest shook the world and dragged the Sam Gor out from the dark corners of the Asia-Pacific into the global spotlight. The Sam Gor is one of the most terrifying criminal organizations on Earth. Its reach extends across the Asia-Pacific region, all the way to Australia and North America. Its core membership is drawn from 5 traditional criminal gangs. The 14K and the Bamboo Union mentioned earlier are just 2 of the 5. This alliance merged what were once rival regional factions into a single, tightly coordinated, transnational machine, creating a shadow empire that gave global law enforcement nightmares, an Asian shadow unlike any other. The Sam Gor's primary revenue source: high profit, synthetic narcotics. UNODC's reports confirmed they dominate the Asia-Pacific drug market, generating at least $8 billion annually. Some reports place their 2018 drug revenues at $17.7 billion. Annual sales reaching $70 billion. Production originally based in southern China. But as pressure mounted, they relocated to the Golden Triangle, particularly Myanmar's Shan state. There, they exploited border zones with no rule of law and private armed protection, constructing secret factories, producing staggering quantities of narcotics. Even during the height of global pandemic lockdowns, the Sam Gor's drug production and distribution networks suffered no meaningful disruption. They only expanded. Their efficiency and stealth rival any multinational corporation. The organization operates alongside Japan's Yakuza, Australian bikie gangs, and Lebanese criminal networks, forming a diverse, interlocking, underground ecosystem. Reports confirm activity in Myanmar, Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, Thailand, Taiwan, South Korea, Japan, New Zealand, Australia, across the globe. The Sam Gor leaves fingerprints everywhere. To bring Chi-Lop to justice, the Australian Federal Police spearheaded Operation Kungur, a multi-year global investigation. The operation united agencies from Canada, China, Japan, Hong Kong, Macau, Myanmar, Thailand, New Zealand, Taiwan, the United States, over 20 law enforcement bodies. Chi-Lop was caught mid-flight from Taiwan to Canada. Arrested during a layover in Amsterdam, he was extradited to Australia to face trial. But as the UNODISC's Asia-Pacific representative, Jeremy Douglas warned, the Sam Gor rose to power because systemic gaps exist throughout the region. Enforcement loopholes and insatiable demand for synthetic drugs. None of that soil has been cleared. Even with Chi-Lop behind bars, someone will likely step up to fill his place. In the Colombian city of Medellín, what appears today as a quiet neighborhood was once the birthplace of one of the most feared organizations in human history, the Medellín Cartel, founded in 1976 by a group of so-called entrepreneurs from Antioquia who knew exactly what business they were in. Among them, one man would come to define the organization, Pablo Escobar. His business grew at a speed that stunned the world. Within just a few years, what started as a local underground network became a global drug empire with no equal, as worldwide demand for white powder surged. The Medellín Cartel seized the moment. Through hidden channels, they pushed their product relentlessly into the United States and Europe. United States agencies estimated this organization once supplied nearly 80% of America's cocaine supply. 15 tons shipped daily, making the Medellín Cartel $420 million richer every single week. Annual revenue $22 billion. Their rate of wealth accumulation surpassed the treasury of most sovereign nations. That money built the cartel, an empire of its own. Escobar himself even appeared on Forbes in 1987, on the Forbes list in 1987, on the Forbes billionaires list, mansions, private jets, a private zoo, and he even built himself a luxury prison he called La Catedral, his private prison palace, technically a detention facility, but equipped with a wine cellar, a football pitch, and a jacuzzi. And even from behind those walls, he continued to command the entire operation. The cartel was not built on money alone. It was built on a network of corrupt police, soldiers, judges, and even sitting politicians. They did not just mediate disputes. When necessary, they used extreme methods to permanently silence their enemies. Escobar's late 1980s campaign, his systematic shooting campaign, put hundreds of law enforcement officers in the ground over just 9 years. To terrorize and control the state, the organization planned and executed a series of events that shook Colombia to its core, including the assassination of presidential candidate Luis Carlos Galán, the mid-air bombing of an Avianca flight carrying 107 passengers, and the murder of Attorney General Rodrigo Lara Bonilla. Every single one of those events scorched their mark into Colombian history, written in blood and fire. Facing this unstoppable force, Colombia's government joined forces with the United States in a full-scale offensive against the Medellín Cartel, December 2, 1993. Law enforcement tracked Escobar to the Los Olivos neighborhood of Medellín. What they found was staggering. He still had $30 billion in net assets, equivalent to $80 billion in today's money. Today, Medellín has transformed, become a vibrant destination that tourists flock to. But no one will ever forget that there was a time when every corner of those streets hid a doorway straight to hell. There are no permanent friends, only permanent interests. This truth applied perfectly to the former alliance between the Gulf Cartel and the Sinaloa Cartel. Their conflict left behind an endless trail of bodies and brought multiple towns to their knees. In this decade-long power struggle, one name remained. At the center of the storm, the Sinaloa Cartel's story traces back to the 1980s. Rising from the wreckage of the Guadalajara cartel, of all the factions that splintered off, one planted itself in Sinaloa state, rising from the drug-rich mountains of the region. From the very start, this organization displayed terrifying speed and organizational power. Its co-founder, Joaquin El Chapo Guzman Lora, also known simply as Shorty, became one of the defining faces of criminal power not just in Mexico but across the globe. El Chapo became a name known around the world, a name that echoed worldwide. Called the most powerful criminal on the face of the earth, his operation was built on innovation, complex tunnel networks spanning the border, strategic positioning along every major smuggling route. Through bribery, intimidation, and infiltration, the entire North American narcotics pipeline became his personal enterprise. His empire did not stop at United States borders. It stretched into South America, Europe, and Asia. By 2015, United States authorities estimated the cartel's annual revenue at $39 billion. Their market dominance was virtually total, although El Chapo was first imprisoned for a 20-year sentence in 1993. He ran the organization from behind bars. In 2001, he escaped prison, shocking the entire country. Despite massive government resources deployed to recapture him, he evaded capture time and again. Not until 2016 was he finally recaptured and sentenced to life in a United States prison in 2019. Only then did the world's attention shift to his successors. With El Chapo gone, the Sinaloa Cartel did not collapse. It splintered and multiplied. His son, Ovidio Guzman Lopez, and original core member, Ismael El Mayo Zambada, gradually took command. In 2019, Mexican security forces attempted to arrest Ovidio and triggered an event of extraordinary destructive force. Sinaloa's armed members surrounded the city in broad daylight, burning vehicles, launching sniper attacks, even staging a prison break, forcing the government to back down. The government capitulated, they released him. This moment sent shockwaves across the international community. In the years that followed, the organization kept growing, extending into cities across South and Central America, and their product portfolio evolved, including a deadly new synthetic substance that in recent years has been identified as a primary factor in the collapse of public health systems across the United States and Canada. Statistics show that tens of thousands of Americans die every year from this substance alone, and there is no end in sight. Even with key figures behind bars, the Sinaloa Cartel continues to operate with massive influence across multiple regions. Japan is known worldwide for its safety, yet it harbors one of the world's most powerful criminal organizations, the Yamaguchi-gumi. And this organization, officially recognized by the Japanese government and not illegal, leaves most outsiders completely baffled. So how exactly does that work? The Yamaguchi-gumi's origins date back to 1915. Founded by a veteran of the Russo-Japanese War, Yamaguchi Harukichi, in Kobe. Over decades of expansion and internal strife, this organization evolved from a local outfit into a nationwide network of staggering scale. Excluding Okinawa and Hiroshima, they operate in 45 of Japan's prefectures, with 1,100 affiliated groups. Total membership approximately 23,000. That is 43% of Japan's entire Yakuza population. Their influence does not stop at Japan's borders. It stretches across Asia and North America. Unlike the typical Western image of an underground syndicate, the Yamaguchi-gumi operates in Japanese society as a kind of gray mediator. They have their own headquarters, branches, and organizational charter. Headquarters, branches, and an organizational charter. Every member carries a formal business card and holds a defined rank. Some branches even have pension schemes. This kind of institutionalized criminal organization is extraordinarily rare anywhere in the world. And more remarkable still, according to Fortune magazine's 2014 data, Japan's Yakuza generates $80 billion annually. The Yamaguchi-gumi alone accounts for $66 billion of that total. Arguably the wealthiest shadow force in the world, this colossal organization does not limit itself to traditional crime. It dominates real estate, financial securities, construction, and the entertainment industry. In 2010, Kobe's official media reported that taxes paid by the Yamaguchi-gumi accounted for 70% of Hyogo Prefecture's entire annual tax revenue. Despite the endless controversy, despite all the controversy, one thing can't be denied. After the 1995 Great Hanshin earthquake and the 2011 Great East Japan earthquake, when the government's response was slow, the Yamaguchi-gumi was among the first organizations on the ground. They deployed 70 trucks, loaded with food, water, blankets, and hygiene supplies, racing to disaster shelters, providing immediate relief to thousands of survivors. Some cynics noted that in those moments, the Yamaguchi-gumi acted more like a government in a crisis than the government itself. And yet, despite those rare, apparent acts of humanity, the Yamaguchi-gumi remains Japan's biggest law enforcement headache. In 2015, a major split fractured the organization. A breakaway faction formed the Kobe Yamaguchi-gumi. The two sides became sworn enemies. Over 100 violent confrontations erupted, with at least 90 people killed, at least 90 lives taken. To this day, that internal war has never been fully resolved. What is curious? In April 2025, several Yamaguchi-gumi leaders suddenly walked into Hyogo's police headquarters and handed over a written pledge, declaring they were willing to end a decade of hostilities with the Kobe Yamaguchi-gumi. No more conflict. The move caught police completely off guard and immediately sparked speculation. Is the Yamaguchi-gumi going legitimate, or is this a calculated move? Nobody knows for certain. We all know governments issue bonds to raise funds, but a criminal organization doing the same, a gang selling bonds to finance itself, have you ever heard of such a thing? A 2009 Italian government report revealed their criminal economy accounted for 9% of Italy's GDP. At their peak, these organizations could directly influence Italy's national policy and even reach governments around the world. Among all of them, the wealthiest, the most powerful, is the Ndrangheta. Research shows the Ndrangheta's early influence was deeply intertwined with local Freemasons, those secret societies providing them cover and manpower. Every September, the Madonna Festival held in San Luca Village is believed to be the organization's annual secret summit. Inside a local church, murals depict fallen members throughout history as martyred saints, cementing the organization's sacred status in local culture. Between the 1970s and 1990s, the Ndrangheta built its initial capital through kidnapping. Estimates suggest they carried out over 200 kidnappings in Italy alone. The most notorious, the 1974 abduction of J. Paul Getty's grandson of the American oil tycoon. The ransom became the seed money for their narcotics empire. By 2013, the Ndrangheta's annual revenue had reached a staggering $75.3 billion, equivalent to 2.3 trillion new Taiwan dollars, more than McDonald's and Deutsche Bank combined that year. 3.5% of Italy's entire GDP. And what is even harder to believe, the Ndrangheta did not just run cross-border drug operations. They controlled vast legitimate financial institutions and even issued bonds to raise capital. Moves that rival the financial tools of sovereign nations, all of it hidden in the shadow of the law. The Ndrangheta's ability to amass such vast wealth comes down to their iron grip on Europe's primary cocaine supply route, funneling narcotics from South America through the ports of Calabria into Europe, then redistributed to every continent. They control over 80% of Europe's cocaine market. They have also established similar divisions in Canada and Australia, similar operational branches in Canada and Australia, similar branches in Canada and Australia, replicating Italy's structure overseas, systematically infiltrating local political and economic systems. Entering the 21st century, the Ndrangheta became one of the most financially sophisticated underground organizations ever seen. They launder money with astonishing technical mastery, building elaborate webs of shell companies, cross-border investments, and exploiting financial secrecy laws, successfully burying the true origin of billions, successfully hiding the true source of massive assets. Today, across ports and cities on every continent, their presence can be detected almost everywhere. More chilling still, the Ndrangheta enforces a code of absolute silence. Every member undergoes a baptism initiation, holding a sacred image, dripping their own blood, swearing lifelong loyalty. The internal order is iron strict. Anyone who breaks the oath, along with their family, faces severe punishment, sent to meet their maker. The Italian Parliament once estimated the Ndrangheta's global membership at somewhere between 5,000 and 10,000 people. But given their culture of absolute silence, the true number is likely far higher. And that is everything for today's video. Which of these organizations left the deepest impression on you? Drop your answer in the comments below. We would love to hear from you. If you enjoyed today's video, hit like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.